Hi everyone, again, this is Obama
and Anna
with Global Fairy Tale, and today we're bringing to you this amazing message that we were just sharing, and my wife was just so intuitive and sharing her amazing thoughts, and I said, you know, let's just do a video on it, and she's like, oh, she choked up, which is what happens with a lot of people when, you know, like when you have kids, you try to show them off, and then all of a sudden they're not doing it anymore. So forgive the outfit. We just came from boxing. You can see I'm sweaty and gritty, so we just got our workout on, which is one of the tips I'll share with you. I think before we jump into this video, one of the greatest things you can do as a couple, especially if you're arguing and fighting, is go and work out together. And here's the scientific reason why. Because when you work out together, there's these things inside of our brain called endorphins. So when endorphins release, endorphins is like almost natural adrenaline. It's energy, it's excitement, it's fun. So when your body releases endorphins, there's like a natural energy, fun, excitement, or charge that you get to yourself. And typically when you're working out together, you have something that's called the sympathetic release that happens between you and your partner. So if your partner's hurting, these glands get released and it excretes, especially for women, serotonin, which, you know, for the women it goes in its reason and they can relate. For men, it's what really releases, and you get all excited because after that, the women release serotonin and men release testosterone. So what that means scientifically is that when you're in close approximation and you see your spouse hurting, in a sense, you tend to feel greater, or a better attraction and release, or in other words, let's just put it in man terms, you get easily turned on to your spouse. So that's why couples who work out together actually learn together. So that's not the video, that's just a tip. I wanted to share that with you today. So the message today we really want to share, and obviously if you guys like this message, please comment, share, so it can help someone else. The message we really want to share today is about happiness. There's really two modes of happiness that you get in anyone, but specifically here in relationships. And in those two spaces, it's called basically internal and external. So there's internal and external motivation, and let me break it down very simply, saying in this form. So internal are the people who can be happy on the inside, and external, mostly people who need to be happy from the outside. They need to be encouraged by other people. So my wife and I was just talking about this, and some people more so talking about, you know, like the engagement process. Some folks want to get that, hey, you guys are such an amazing couple and this, that, so that they feel better. But then there are the couples who actually work on themselves, get happy, and regardless of what they do, wherever they show up, they're happy, and that's a natural energy that really transfers to others. So I know my wife is driving. This is where she was very passionate. So I would love for her to share a little bit about the internal happiness process and what makes us, in a sense, different from most people, and why we would love for you to have this internal happiness for yourself. So honey, go ahead and take it away.
So we were just talking, and we were just talking about how we are so secure with us in our relationship, and we don't need anybody's approval. And one of the things that makes us very different is, yes, we did have a lot of things that we had to work on, but when it came to becoming a partnership, a unit, we were happy with where we were with each other, and we didn't want to find other people to make us feel that we were happy. We didn't need anybody's approval, in a sense, because if we would need somebody's approval, then we couldn't live our own life. And if we couldn't live our own life, then whose life are we living? And we were just having a conversation. I have no idea where it came from, but it just showed up that, you know, happiness doesn't have to be approved by anybody. It has to be approved by you and your spouse when it comes to a relationship. And in our marriage, we don't need anybody's approval, because they're not living in our house. They're not living in our head. We are the only people that can determine what's going to make us happy. And it's been so interesting just the last few years, just being, you know, moving away from California, coming to Georgia, and understanding learning that happiness has nothing to do with anything but with us. And that was a lesson that we personally had to learn, because in the beginning, I think everybody has that little bit of a, the little devil on your shoulder kind of saying, oh, is your parents going to approve? Is your friends going to approve? Is, society going to approve? And then you have your little angel saying, of course they're going to approve. You are happy, right? If you're happy, they're happy. And that's where that battle comes in, where a couple cannot be a couple if they're always thinking of what other people are going to think. And we have learned that we can't worry about what other people are thinking, because they're not in our relationship. We are in our relationship. We're the ones that are creating our happiness, and happiness comes when you're happy with yourself. And so we were just reflecting on how happy we've been, no matter what has come our way, and we just want that to be something that everybody in our society has, everybody in our globally has. And it's just been an interesting conversation of saying, you know what, happiness has to come with the couple wanting that happiness for themselves, not wanting an approval of anybody else. So that's really all I was really saying. So thank you so much for listening to me. We really appreciate it. If you like the message, if you approve the message, just go ahead and share it. Hopefully this gets out and everybody can just start being happy in their own personal relationship without wanting anybody's approval. So we love you here. Anna, I'm going to pass it over to Obam.
Awesome. So it's no matter who, no matter what, no matter where, when, or why, you cannot go for the external reasons for happiness. Happiness is an inside job. And the only way you can grow, you can't grow as a couple or in your relationship from, in a sense, where you believe you should be. You can only really do what's called, taking an inventory. And in a lot of our events that are coaching programs, when we're coaching couples, it's coaching comes from a place of, we automatically assume the couple is kind of where they are, and our goal is to guide them and facilitate, not really teach, but to facilitate and help them move from where they are. It's future directed where they want to be, because you really can only grow from that one place, right? So what we didn't give step by step, but we just released 10 of the most amazing disciplines and principles that you can have to grow and generate internal happiness for you. Because like I said earlier, happiness is an inside job. And one of the things we do, especially in one of our main courses that we do for relationship and couples, is this. We help you, the individual, to understand the same thing we had to understand. That in order for us to be happy, at first, and it was hard for my wife, I had to, in a sense, almost force her in a while, for her to find her own happiness and strength and footing as a woman. So when she was 100% happy with herself and know who she is, then and only then can she appreciate herself and then learn to appreciate who I was. So when we grow together, we then change and become an entire new identity as a couple. We have our own individual identity and we have our identity as a couple. One of the things we do all the time to really reinforce that identity, you can probably see it right here, like our wardrobe, for example, it's 100% the same. Some of my buddies in the beginning when I started, it's like, dude, that is so gay. You dress and do everything your wife does. But the basis of that was me reaching out for us to create that nucleus of our own identity. Find something that you and your spouse can do that you both can own. No one else does. That when they see you, they know you, they hear you, they talk to you, that is what makes you different and apart from everyone else. And what we did externally with clothing is what we did internally with our philosophy. And our philosophy is really what you hold, what you know, and how it helps you to get to do what you want to do. That's one of the reasons why we have attended seminars on a quarterly basis for every year for the last 10 years on self-development, self-enrichment, and for every year on growth and relationship. And that's what's given us a lot of the ability outside of our degrees that we have in education and development. So Really excited to share this message with you guys today. Hopefully it's reached you, it's touched you. Please, if it has, hit like. If you're seeing this on YouTube, subscribe. Please share it with a few people. Our goal, as you know, the reason why we launched the company Global Fairy Tale is to really get this message globally out there, and we want to ask you to do the same thing as you create, manifest, and really hone in on your own destiny as an individual or as a couple. So with that, we love you. Take care. God bless you. This is Obam
and Anna
saying bye for now.